Well, hi everybody. Welcome to Portsmouth This Week. I'm your host, Bob Honeytowski, subbing in for the wondrous Doug Smith, who hopefully will be back soon. And our topic today is recreation, or recreation as some people call it. And we have with us as guests the new Director of Recreation. She is Wendy Bulk. And with her is her assistant of the beach and camp assistant, Jordan Napier. Both familiar names here in Portsmouth. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us.
Tell us, Wendy, a bit about your background. What did you do before you came here?
Okay, I was in health and fitness for many years. YMCA, started off as just an instructor there, and then moved my way up to health and wellness director.
Health and
wellness director. And then moved on to managing gyms, and I was a regional manager for Blast Fitness, and then kind of retired from that and took the position with the town last December.
Well, we're glad to have you. You sound like you're well qualified, and we can expect great things from you.
Thank you.
And Jordan, it's your turn. What is your story? What brought you to us, and what did you do before?
Well, I used to babysit a lot. That was like my main thing that I did. But before that, I actually used to work at Carnegie Abbey. I worked in the housekeeping department. I did that for one summer, decided it wasn't for me. So I got out of that, and then I went to babysitting, and then I decided I needed to do something else, and here I am.
So you're exploring. You're a student.
Yes.
Tell everybody you're a student now, and so you're into the great adventure.
Yeah.
Where do I fit? Wendy, what kinds of responsibilities do you have as Director of Recreation?
Well, I oversee the beach and the camps. We are running camps for ages 5 to 13. I oversee the sports fields. My office is located at the Leonard Brown House.
Oh yeah, I want to talk to you about
Okay. So yeah, I also oversee the staff, all of the staffing, and yeah, it's been great, a lot of fun.
You're still quote breaking in, right? You're recently 6 months, 7 months?
Last December.
Yeah. So you've got got a lot to get used to.
Yeah.
The Leonard Brown House. I was on a committee years ago when that thing was pretty run down,
Mm-hmm.
and it looked like the fire department was going to use it to practice, but some people decided it was worth rescuing.
Yes.
And I haven't been in it, but is it a comfortable setting for your office?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. It's peaceful. Just a great place to be. I'm there by myself right now.
And so there's some meeting space, and there's space for other. I thought the soccer people might get a side office or something. No?
Yes, we do have a conference room, and then we also have several office space available, and we're working on what we really want to do with it.
That's great. That's good. It's all coming together. What you want to pass along your email address and your phone number so people can contact you? Although you told me earlier that your phone doesn't stop ringing now, so maybe you shouldn't give it out. Listed as unlisted.
Yes.
What is the number?
It is 401-787-0281, and then my email is wbulk@portsmouthri.com.
Were there policies in place when you came, or are you involved in developing them too?
Yes. There are policies in place, but with help from some staff at the town hall, I'm working on implementing new policies and revising old policies.
Yeah, constantly.
Yes.
And is like the fee structure involved in that, and has it gone up?
It has.
Yeah.
We've made some revisions, and there still needs to be a few more things set in place, but we're working on it.
I think it's the town's idea that the new activities and services provided can sort of pay for themselves. I'm not suggesting you're there yet, but like the campgrounds are now, I guess, making money or at least paying for themselves. And the manor house at one time was, just sitting there. Now it's sort of profitable. So I think it's probably the town's hope, and the senior center also. And it's hope the town will be, your program will sort of be so successful that it'll pay for itself. What kinds of recreational activities go on? You haven't been here year-round, so in the off-season, is there anything that usually happens other than the egg hunt?
Yeah, I worked with Common Fence Point Center. We put some classes in, fitness classes, and we're hoping to continue that once the center is renovated.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that, with the town and Common Fence Point, that we could collaborate and have something together.
You mentioned earlier Common Fence, and I wanted to ask you whether you interlock with all the other organizations in town, the Senior Center, the Common Fence, the Historical Society, that you guys sort of support one another and help one another?
We're working towards that.
Yeah. I know that, but I think that would be an eventual kind of happening, right? That you'd like.
Absolutely.
All right, you've been too quiet, Jordan. It's your turn. I'm going to ask you some embarrassing questions like, you're a student where at?
University of New Haven,
And what are you majoring in?
forensic psychology.
Forensic psychology. So you came to Portsmouth to kind of study
Yeah.
the natives. How are you enjoying the experience so far?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I like being home, but I also like being at school and doing my own thing and going further into my goal.
Well, it was nice that this opportunity was here and gives you a chance to implement some of your, I think you said I think I have the skill set, the lingo skill set, and you like to organize. In fact, that's one of your main jobs with the organization, which is keeping track of the money and bookkeeping and so forth, and also supervising. And how many, do you have a staff yet under you? How many?
We have beach staff, and there's about, at the gate, there's maybe 4 or 5 of us, and then for lifeguards, there's about 7 or 8. And then there's the camp staff as well.
Well, that's plenty of people to worry about.
Sure is.
It occurs to me that I've been here long enough so that I see that the demand for fields and venues, it just seems to grow and grow and grow. I remember when there were a couple of people driving golf balls at Glen Farm, and now the place is jammed with soccer of every age. Do you see, are there any fields or venues that are lying dormant that you see as developing in the future? The place behind the Senior Citizen Center, there's a field there, and isn't there something on the way to Sandy Point Farm?
There is.
Yeah.
There's a field that is going to be developed.
It is going to be developed.
When, I'm not quite sure.
No, but it would be something more for you to do. Years ago, there was a cross river swim. I think I mentioned that to you. That's not around anymore, is it?
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah.
I'm not
I could hear and see in your face you're saying, I got enough to do. Yeah, that's quite an operation. Maybe it'll come back someday. And the other thing I wanted to ask is, and we'll talk to the beach extensively, but is there anything going on after hours? The beach closes at 4. Is there anything either in place or planned for after hours, so to speak?
Yes, we're working on a youth and teen night for the summer. It's not been, the schedule hasn't been put in place, but we are working on having the kids come to the beach from 6 to 9, and it'd probably be Friday evenings. You know, they could swim, play volleyball, you can have a fire pit, of course, with a permit, and just a place for the kids to come and stay out of trouble, have a good time. Their parents can go off and do some shopping, go to dinner, but yeah, it'll be a fun event for all.
I haven't been there at night. Is there a nice lighting system? Not like the high school feel, mind you, but are there security lights at night?
There is not, but we're working on.
So with sunset, everybody goes home.
Yes, we're working on some lighting, especially for our events that we will have. So that's in the works.
Movies, maybe someday?
Yes, we're working. There is the police department does sponsor an event, and that would come probably around mid-August. So I'll be working on that soon.
Music at all? Any concerts? I'm not saying now, but I mean
In the future,
we're
thinking about it. It's definitely something that I've thought about and we've talked about.
Years ago, I don't know if you remember, but at Glen Park, further down, there was like an amphitheater, and there'd be musicians down at, and everybody would be like in the old Greek Athenia place, and they'd be watching, and that was nice. That was nice.
Yeah.
And eventually, I think that will come to Portsmouth in due time. Let's talk about the beach. I know that's where most of your time is being spent now. How much actual land do you have there at Sandy Point? I mean, is it, how many acres? Or you never measured it? What have you been doing?
I haven't, but I will make it a point to do that.
Oh, I'm just kidding. It's a lot of space.
It is.
Between the ocean or the riverfront facility, then all that parking area is quite extensive. And surprise, I've used it, but typically one who uses it doesn't realize how much is involved in running that and managing that. Start with with your linkage with the state and all of the glorious regulations that are in state. What do you have to be concerned with?
Well, the lifeguards, we have to, they have to be certified on their own, and then they also have to be, they have to take a test, and they have to pass that test. That's through the state, and once that's in place, then they can take their hours on. And there are other things, the water level.
Go ahead, water quality.
Oh yes, that's tested, and it's been tested over the past several weeks quite a few times. I guess there was some issues last year, so they are taking precautions this year, and they've already tested it quite a few times. So I believe they're going to be testing it every few weeks, even possibly once a week, until this, it's been fine. The water's fine. We've got the go-ahead to open, and it's the water quality is fine. We're well below the levels.
Yeah, it's good that's watched well in this age of environmental awareness, all those things, and from a view of the charm and the wonder of that site, which is unlike some of the bigger beaches with great crashing waves. This is a nice, quiet family operation where there's very little danger of being swept out to sea or eaten by Jaws. They don't come. They don't come to Portsmouth. What about your own? You're not regulated by any. You don't have a. Do you have a certificate to be a lifeguard or?
No,
No.
I'm not. No, I'm not a lifeguard. No, so I won't. Yeah.
How about for managing and counting money? If
Just really good at math.
you're good at math.
Kind of.
You're lucky to have her. When does the sailing program take place?
Well, our beach officially opens Monday, the 25th, and we will start sailing and swimming lessons then.
And that'll be during the day?
Yes, in the morning, and the schedule is on the website, the portsmouthri.com.
Oh, yeah, good. I'm
and
glad
then,
you mentioned that.
Yep, there is a rec page with all the activities and the applications for the swimming lessons and sailing, as well as camp. I'm still taking camp applications.
What do you mean by camp?
The camp, the child care. So Monday we start, and that will be at Sandy Point Beach. We open at 8:30 to 4:30, and the kids come and we have three to four staff members who run all kinds of activities. Swimming, they'll play outdoor games,
that's great.
arts and crafts, lots of fun activities for the kids.
That's all day long? The kids get dropped off at 8 and picked
That's
up
right.
at 4?
That's right. It's a long day for everybody.
You got an experienced babysitter.
Right.
You're going to ask for more money.
That's why I hired her.
Oh, that's great. That's a wonderful facility because, as I said earlier, there's so much need for young people, especially, to have somewhere to go and something to do, and forgive me, and somewhere to grow. Meet other people and develop skills in swimming and sailing. How is the sailing handled? Is that an outside organization that comes in with boats, or are there boats there, or you're nodding?
Yeah, the town
I
owns.
gave you a multiple choice.
The town owns. We have a few boats, and we have a young man who's been teaching the program. I believe this is his 4th year. He's running it.
So there are little boats tied up there
Yeah.
at the shore,
There-
and
yes.
he comes down and
Well,
he
we don't-
takes the kids out.
They're stored. We have to bring them to the beach every time we have the lessons. We can't leave them on the beach, but they are stored. And that runs Monday through Thursday, and there's different times that you can select.
That's such good news, that those activities continue. What part of the job do you like, Jordan? Be careful now. This is being recorded.
I like being able to see everyone. It's a really small town, and everyone goes to Sandy Point. So being able to sit there and see everyone and say hi, it's great.
Do you see a lot of your classmates, former classmates?
Yeah, I see a lot of them, and it's weird because I haven't seen a lot of them since graduation.
Yeah.
And so I'll see them, and when I go walk up to the car, I don't really notice anyone until I'm actually there, and I see them. And Portsmouth residents are free for the beach.
Yeah, I was going to
So
say.
I see them, and I'm like, oh,
a friendly
hi.
face.
Yeah.
Friendly face. I remember you when you were just a little.
Yeah.
Talk a bit about the cost, Wendy. There's a charge for swimming lessons, there's a charge for sailing lessons, there's a charge for going into the beach for non-residents. How about residents?
There is no fee for residents.
How do you know can you tell they're Portsmouth people? Do they have a certain demeanor?
Okay, Jordan, you can answer that.
Whenever I go up to them, I ask them if they're Portsmouth residents. And if they say yes, I do have to check their license to see if it actually does say Portsmouth, because I have caught a few people saying that they are Portsmouth. And
Some
then,
people from across the river,
Yeah. They're like, well, I'm Middletown. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Middletown.
Still,
Close enough.
There was something in one of the previous broadcasts about the compactor sticker. Does that?
The beach sticker?
Well, no, the one that you use to go to the compactor, is that use for the
is,
beach
yes.
too? And if they don't have one, then the town doesn't issue any other kind of sticker for beach, does it?
They do. They have a beach sticker.
Oh, they
Got a beach
do?
sticker.
So you probably run into people who have neither, or haven't been there, or are coming as visitors and so forth. So the visitors would get charged a fee, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing that I was aware of in thinking about it is the amount of grounds maintenance. That there's a lot of, are the beaches raked? Is there, in the old days, when I was in the Army, the Civil War, we used to have clean up and pick up after each battle. Do you still have that sort of thing to keep the grounds clear and all that? The other thing that I was interested in is what kinds of services or products or anything do you have there? Do you have food? Do you have a change room? Do you have? Go ahead, you talk.
Okay.
I've talked enough. I'm leaving.
Well, we have the bathhouse, and that actually we just had the floors done. It looks amazing. They were epoxy paint, and they look fabulous. So we've made some improvements. We are doing concessions, just packaged food that we sell, ice cream sandwiches, power bars, juice boxes, water, things like that. We sell that at the gate, and we do have a refrigerator to store. Someone donated a refrigerator to us, and yes, we have now we can sell the ice cream sandwiches and things like that.
Yeah, that's great. So obviously there's power, there has to be electricity for the lights and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, do you ever have, what do they call it, like food trucks or visitors come or
Well,
request to come?
They have, but this year we kind of pushed that aside for now. They do come when the beach is closed at 4:30. They can come at that time.
Yeah.
But before that, because we sell concessions now,
Yeah, well,
it would be a conflict.
I asked the question because I know that some of the events that I've been involved with, like the Touch-A-Truck with the library, there's some vendors that, but we charge them. You want to sell your product, we'll charge them and get a
Right.
cut from the top.
Right.
And they don't interfere with, at that time, the Lions used to host the thing. So you have, and do you have other things like, I don't mean to be negative, but Band-Aids and things like that for people who get cut?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you have.
Oh, yes.
safety,
We have a kit. We have an AED on the beach. The lifeguards have that, and they bring that to their stand. And we have a first aid kit. Absolutely.
And what do you got, suntan lotion and things like that?
Yes. For the staff, I provide that. I have to provide sunscreen for the staff and
Yeah.
water, and we do sell sunscreen.
And you do sell it?
Yes.
You do sell it?
Yes.
What, I would take it there were no like security problems, Jordan and Wendy? You don't have any things that get out of control or people, I think you said earlier that the young people are okay, but
Yeah.
it's the old
than
grouchy
driving
people like me who can present a problem. And I guess that's just part of dealing with the public. You're going to get all kinds of people who maybe aren't in a good mood, and they come and they see you and they get in a worse mood. No, you smile at them. What? How many people are you responsible for, Wendy? Totally. I mean, staff. What do you call it? Lifeguards.
We have a staff of 17. Yeah, 17, mostly part-time staff. Yeah.
That includes people at the Brown House to help you with typing or anything like that? No?
no.
Answer,
No.
you have to answer your own phone?
That's right.
Yes, well, the day will come.
I have to
and
run
they'll
my
say,
own computer.
I'm sorry, Wendy is busy right now. Would you? Yeah. What kinds of things, I think I asked you this earlier, you're in a part-time position now, and you're just getting your feet wet, so to speak. What kind of, do you dream about what might be?
Sure, I do. Yeah, it is a part-time position, but right now I'm probably working about 35 to 40 hours a week with the beach running. And the activities that are going on at the fields. I am responsible for taking the payment for the fields.
Yeah.
We have lots of different activities in addition to the sports events. So it's I've been very busy.
How does all those soccer tournaments, are those beholden to you? I mean, do they have to come to you and get a certificate or something to have, like, I guess it's Father's Day, they have that huge
Right.
tournament, and let's not forget the rugby gang.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, they have to fill out an application, and it goes to the town council, and the town council will approve. All
Okay,
because they have
that's
to,
still, okay.
They have to get permits for for their event, so
Yep.
that does have to be approved. Once it's approved, they will pay according to the fee schedule.
Right.
So
And I think I mentioned earlier that the Glen Park right now is under a different supervision, but eventually that may come under your
That will
purview
fall,
also.
yes.
That's a that's a chunk of property too, and,
sure is.
a lot of things to be concerned with there, and buildings on there that have to be maintained and all that. So, do you have any dreams, Jordan?
Just to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I wish you the best with your experience, and it's education is typical. You have it, you don't realize you have it until later, and you look back and say, "I learned a lot at that summer in Portsmouth, working with Wendy and managing things." Wendy, I appreciate meeting you and learning about your background, and you seem to have everything in hand, in control.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think so.
yeah.
Yes.
But it was a little hard. It usually is with a new position, even with your background and the health and fitness and everything. It's a new setting, it's a new location, and new expectations from both the people who hired you and your own expectations, huh? Well, I wish you the best, and everything that you do will be a benefit for Portsmouth.
Absolutely.
To continue making it the place to live, Wendy. Remember that. Come on home. So I want to thank you once again for coming, and hope that if people have questions, they can. Why don't you tell us your number again?
It's 401-787-0281.
And there's an email at your place?
It's wbulk@portsmouthri.com.
Okay, so we hope you'll be bothered a lot. Thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you for having us.
And folks, thanks for watching this week on Portsmouth This Week.